All right, now we're ready to go. Welcome, everybody. Sorry about that, but we got everything figured out. Thank you, Mr. Amatrano, for that. We're excited to get the first 2022 parent meeting kicked off tonight. So I want to welcome everybody. Just one more quick reminder, we are videotaping tonight. So first thing I have for you is some updates. We had a great Student of the Month award ceremony yesterday. The video is available. I will upload that. I'll send it out in the next parent newsletter. We'll also try to get that onto our school website for you as well. Congratulations to all the kids and all the parents for all their hard work. Thank you very much for everything you all do. Today, we ended term 2. Can you believe it? We're halfway through the school year. So we've made it halfway through. So congratulations, everybody. This school year is going much faster than last school year, at least for me. I don't know how the parents feel about it, but it's really flying by. We've had a great start to the year as we roll into semester 2. That'll start tomorrow. Just a couple reminders on here. After school help is available. Please check with your child's teacher for what days they stay after specifically. We have set up every Wednesday and Thursday. We have 1 hour of extra help available with transportation, and that is in all the core subjects. So whether it's science, social studies, math, ELA, you could stay after for help in any one of those areas Wednesday and Friday in addition to your teacher. And we have transportation. The only thing we ask is if you want to stay after for extra help and you're going to need transportation, please let Mr. Stein know, and he's going to arrange that transportation for you. So that's a great opportunity for everybody there. Really excited. February 3rd at 6 p.m., our first National Junior Honor Society induction will take place. Thank you to Miss Tucker and Miss Wormuth for that. Very excited about this. So we've been waiting for a year now. When I came on board last year, this was one of the priorities for our school, and we got this up and running. So we're really excited about that. Students will be, I believe we're going to give them their acceptance letters this week, tomorrow, I believe. They'll get their acceptance letters tomorrow. So looking forward to that. Congratulations to our winter sports teams. They've been doing great. Our girls and boys basketball. I was just telling Mr. McGrath, who's with us tonight, our athletic director, we're really doing great. The kids are doing a great job. We're playing Grafton tomorrow. So anyone, if you're out there, if you want to come and see a great game, we play Grafton. I believe it starts at 3:30 tomorrow. It's going to be a great game. I know I'm going. I'm looking forward to it. So that should be fun. Congratulations to our dynamic duos, Miss Gogolinski and Miss Wormuth. They were invited. They were 4 panelists invited in the entire state to work with teaching kids how to be successful entrepreneurs. Teaching a work-based curriculum. I'm going to share now with you a little picture. There they are, the dynamic duo. Really big honor for our teachers, for our school, for them to go to work in this program. They were the only 2 middle school teachers selected for this. So congratulations and thank you, Ms. Wormuth and Ms. Gogolinski. Great job. Some quick COVID updates for you. So if you've been watching the news, I'm sure you saw that the governor is going to be sending out testing kits. And you can opt into this if you would like. There'll be more information coming from our nurses, but I wanted to, get out in front of this and let the parents know what's coming down here. So we're going to do, you can do weekly at-home testing. That's going to begin February 2nd for our families. And that's going to run at least until April 22nd. According to Governor Baker, it'll run from February to April 22nd. At that time, they're going to revisit the program. They're going to look at where the COVID rates are, and that they'll choose to either continue the testing. They may cancel it. I'm sure there'll be different protocols in place, but at least from February 2nd through April 22nd, this opt-in testing will take place. If you choose to opt in, and again, this is completely voluntary, and the nurses wanted me to make sure everyone knew we do not share the information with anybody. It's very private. But if you choose to opt in on this, students will be given a COVID rapid test to take home once a week. Every Wednesday, they will get their test in homeroom, and they'll bring that home, and then they could do the at-home COVID test. If you do test positive, we just ask that you contact the nurses and let them know. If you test negative, there is no need to do anything at that point. You don't have to contact the nurse or anything like that. It's only if you test positive. I did have a few people ask me about what's going to go on with the COVID protocols. So as of right now, we're going to continue to follow the current guidelines that are in place for COVID. However, the next couple of weeks that may change. And if it does, our nurses will be reaching out to everybody in the district to let you know what's going on. But as of right now, we're going to continue to follow those current guidelines for the COVID protocols. Of course, if you have any additional questions, I'm by no means an expert, but our nursing staff is. Please feel free to reach out to our nurses. Nurse Calabro has been amazing during all this, so I want to give a huge shout out to her for all her hard work. But if you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out to one of our nurses and they can help you with that. Morning drop-off. So I want to talk a little bit about morning drop-off. I have to tell you, I'm out there every morning doing the drop-off, and Miss Charlene and myself, it's freezing. We're freezing. And then I look over and I see kids coming in shorts, and I get even colder. So please dress your kids for the weather. They do have to wait outside for a little bit, so make sure they're warm. We try to get them across the street as quick as we can, but sometimes we have to wait. So dress for the weather, please. We do let students in case of inclement weather. I know tomorrow, I believe it's supposed to be 0, if not below 0. So we're going to try to get them in as quick as we can, probably sometime around 7:10, 7:15. We try to get the kids in the building, and they'll wait in the auditorium until 7:25. So if you are going to drop your kids off, before 7:10, 7:15, please make sure they're dressed for that weather. It's going to be below 0 tomorrow, so make sure they're dressed for that. Ski club, I noticed this today. If you're going to ski club, if you could, please kind of pull off to the side somewhere, maybe find a parking spot in line to let your students unload so we don't back traffic up. We just ask that you get out of the way a little bit as you're getting all their stuff out, the skis and everything else. That way we can keep traffic flowing very smoothly. Drop off students when you're in line, waiting in line. And I think we do a great job of this. I know the last couple of weeks, our parents are dropping off kids when they're, far down in line. I try to wait till we get a good group of kids so we can cross them. But to those of you who asked, be patient. I had a parent reach out to me, about asking cars to pull off to the side so cars can get past and make that right-hand turn. We really can't let you do that because we have kids crossing. So just be patient, please. Wait in line. We get you out of there as quick as we can. At this point, we don't want to allow you to pass cars while they're waiting in line because kids are getting in and out of those vehicles, and it really be a safety issue. And then just another reminder, I've seen a few people start to do it. Please don't pull off the side of the road to drop students off. Number one, it's a big safety hazard for the traffic. Number two, today was a good example. Sometimes those sidewalks aren't salted all the way, and they were really slippery today. I know I almost slipped when I got out of my car this morning. So we just ask it, go in line, follow the drop-off procedure. It goes pretty quick. We get you in and out of there as quick as we can. Miss Charlene's amazing, but please follow those procedures if you could. All right, I'm going to let Ms. Palmerhouse take over now. Tomorrow, we're actually going to adjust our schedule just a little bit. It's going to be a little bit more of a balanced schedule. So we've changed that. Everything still takes place. It's still the 4 periods with a drop 1. And Ms. Palmerhouse, I'm going to turn over to you real quick.
All right. Hello, everybody. Yes, we're still having our typical drop 1 period, 4 periods, drop 1. But what we had found out before was our lunch block was getting short. And every other block was 80 minutes and our lunch block was under 70. So it wasn't equitable. So what we've done now is we have moved everything to 75 minutes. Except for the 6th grade lunch, and the 6th grade lunch is short by 3 minutes because they have 2 transitions. They come down in between, they go to class, then they come to lunch and they go back to class. So they have 2 different transition periods. So it doesn't change the day. The start time, the end time is exactly the same. They're going to go to lunch. I think it comes out to being 5 minutes earlier, and lunch goes about 3 minutes later. So there's more time between each lunch. That was the only way to do it, to make it equitable. So the students will have a little difference in their time schedules tomorrow, but we are going to ring a bell to dismiss that 6th grade lunch and then to dismiss that 8th grade lunch. So they should wait for their bell with their teacher. So there's no change, as I said, in the start time or the end time. It's just giving them a little more equitable time in each class period. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Palmerhouse. And that, again, will take place tomorrow. That starts tomorrow. So starting third quarter, this is going to take place tomorrow. All right. Real quick, Parent Army members, we're still looking for volunteers to help us out in the school lunches, hallways, and to be monitors. Please reach out to Ms. Capistran if you would like to help out in our school. We'd love to have you. I want to give a quick shout out to our new staff. Amanda Weinert just started with us this week. Kyle Gauthier started with us this week as well. They are going to be 2 of our building subs. Jody Baudette is going to be our IA instructional assistant in-house too. And then we have Nicole Farrell, who has been helping out down in Miss Brown's room. And finally, I want to give a big congratulations. It was I guess a happy/sad day today. Jay Gilly, our custodian for over 23 years. Today was his last day. So if you saw him out there, he was with me this morning out helping with traffic. He's going to be missed, but I know he's going to enjoy his retirement. He certainly earned it. So congratulations, and thank you for everything you did for us, Jay Gilly. Thank you very much. So we have a few minutes for questions, and what do we want to do tonight, just to let you know, we have the high school team with us tonight. And so we're going to take questions now from all families or parents who have questions. And then we're going to move into the high school presentation, and we're going to gear it more towards 8th grade events. Of course, everyone's welcome to stay with us, but if it's going to be geared towards, we're going to talk about 8th grade events, what we're going to plan this year for our 8th graders. And then we have a presentation from Mr. Tracy from the high school. So at that point, it's going to be geared towards 8th grade. But again, everyone's welcome to stay with us. But at this time, I'd like to open it up to any questions before we move on. And I can't see, so I'm going to ask Mr. Stein or Ms. Palmerhouse if you could read the questions. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Take about 10 minutes or so if we can answer any questions.
How do students qualify to join Junior National Honor Society?
So you would have to reach out to Ms. Tucker and Ms. Wormuth about that. And they can give you more information on that. I don't want to give any of the wrong information. So I want to reach out to them, and they can let you know what the qualifications were for that.
You've got a quiet board today.
One more thing I forgot to mention, our weight room that's coming up. I want to, Mr. Stein, I know you're there. If you could, in case anyone has a question, but in the meantime, can you explain a little bit about what's going on with our weight room and some of the things we have planned for that?
Sure, no problem, Mr. Diorio. So I can't take full credit for this, but last week while I was out due to a sickness, Mr. Diorio and a bunch of kids started cleaning out it was turned into a storage room. But if any of you on tonight actually went to Northbridge High School in our building, you would know that there was a functioning weight room just off the gym. So Mr. Diorio and I were talking, trying to get this up and running, another positive option for kids to do some type of club or activity after school. So we gathered a few volunteer students and they helped us clean it out. So we're going to get involved into painting it and completely reconditioning the storage room, which will now go back to its original job, which is being a weight room. So we're really excited about that. Mr. Falconer has offered his services and got some donations for some weights that we can start to furnish the room. And if anybody has any other leads on some help for us to, build our inventory of weights, I would take any emails or phone calls and point us in the right direction. But we're very excited about it. And like I said, if anybody wants to help out, we have some volunteer students and myself and we're looking for all hands on deck to assist in this process. So we're really excited and looking forward to it. And that's it. It's going to be a great thing.
Yeah, if I can just add on that, I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Jess LaChapelle for helping. It was actually after a basketball practice one night. We decided to start moving some of this stuff out, and he was picking up Joel and offered to come in and help out. So he came in and gave us a hand. So thank you very much for doing that. And also, we plan on using this weight room for our phys ed classes as well. So we're going to get a lot of use out of it. It's not only for after school weightlifting and for our sports teams, but it's also going to be used in our PE classes as well. I know Mr. Abraham's really excited about incorporating this into some of his classes. So just general fitness for all students in our building. It's going to be a great thing. So anything you can do to help out, we really appreciate it.
Said a healthy mind is a healthy body, right?
All right, you have a couple more COVID questions asking if COVID is for all or just unvaccinated students, and then how do you opt in?
The nurses will reach out. So you're going to get something from the nurses. And I think if I'm understanding correctly, the question is, do you have to be vaccinated to get the test kits? You do not. But the nurses will be reaching out and sending out information to the district. I'm a little bit ahead of it. I just want to let the parents know about this. But you'll be getting more information, more detailed information from the nursing staff about this as well.
Somebody commented about the parking. During afternoon pickup, should parents park or get in line? The line is all over the place and dangerous and blocks parked parents in. Yeah. So at afternoon, we ask if you can find an empty spot. We started doing this last year. If you can find an empty spot and park in it and wait, while your children are coming out. And because what's happening is we have some people finding a spot to park in, and then other people pull in and line up. And then, some of these kids come out there, the last kids to straggle out like mine were, and then you're blocking in people from getting out. So the best thing to do, there's plenty of parking. If you can just please find a parking spot and wait for your child in a parking spot, because when you line up, it does, and I agree, it does back up the traffic and it does get a little dangerous. So we're asking parents to please find a parking spot. And one last question. Have you considered moving the date of the Junior Honor Society induction ceremony because it's the same night as Ski Club?
That is a good question. I will check with Miss Tucker. That's a great question. Let me check with Miss Tucker and Miss Wormuth on that. And I will send out some information this week in the parent newsletter. Thank you, whoever said that. That's a great point.
Mrs. Lundquist.
Thank you, Mrs. Lundquist. That's why we have these parent meetings. You guys, we have a lot of great minds out there. And I'm not going to hold up our high school team. If there's no more questions, I'm actually going to roll to our 8th grade events. Unless am I missing any questions before I move on to the 8th grade events?
No, Mr. DL.
No.
Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to 8th grade events, and please, everyone is welcome to stay with us. And I know we're going to have a great presentation. I'm going to run through the 8th grade events real quick, and then I'm going to turn over to Mr. Kissel and Mr. Tracy. But just real quick, you 8th grade parents out there, and I'm hoping we don't have the same talk next year, that we don't have to worry about this COVID stuff. The good news is we went through this last year, and so we have some experience with this. I could tell you that plans have to change quickly because we don't know what's going to happen with these COVID restrictions. But we definitely learned a lot last year. And so we have some possible events planned. This is what we would love to do. Of course, the dance for our kids, we didn't do it last year. If we can, we'd love to have a dinner dance. Last year, again, we had to change quickly. Instead of doing a dinner dance, we actually only had the dance. And Mr. Stein was there. I can tell you, we had a phenomenal time. The parents last year were truly amazing. They decorated our cafeteria. It was beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. We had a great DJ. So instead of having the dinner dance, we moved to just a dance, and we had part of it outside where the kids can take their masks off, and it worked out really well. Lip Sync was a huge fundraiser for us in the past. We're hoping we can do that again. Again, this is all, we may have to adjust this a little bit. Last year, we did a field day because we couldn't have the whole dinner dance. We actually did a field day. Again, lots of fun. Mrs. Zuliani was instrumental in starting that field day. fantastic. We had a great time. So that's something we can look at. And then, of course, fundraising. We really don't have much money right now. So 8th grade parents, we're going to have to look at some fundraising opportunities. And then, of course, the last thing we have is the promotion ceremony. I can assure you, Mr. Gauthier would not let us skip that promotion ceremony. I know last year we had it all planned out to move it to we worked with Mr. McGrath on this, but we were going to use the outdoor, our brand new stadium. So, we're going to have that ceremony. If COVID rates spike and for whatever reason we can't do it inside, we will definitely be able to move it outside. So we will have that promotion ceremony. But any parents who are interested in helping, if you can please email Ms. Capistrand. We'd like to start collecting parents, 8th grade parents. I can tell you we can't do this without you. The parents last year were instrumental in making this a success for all the students. I really think we did a great job last year for our 8th graders. And I know we're going to do the same this year. I do want to make sure that parents, if you can please let your students know, behavior can prevent students from attending these events. So please, we don't want any of our 8th graders to miss out on any of the fun stuff we have planned, but behavior will prevent this. So we want to make sure that our 8th graders are, being leaders in the building and doing the right thing. But again, if you're interested, please reach out to Ms. Capistrand. We're trying to put together a parent committee right now so we can start the planning phases of this and get it rolling. I know it's kind of late. Normally we'd like to start this at the beginning of the school year. But again, we had to wait because we weren't sure what was going to happen with COVID. So please reach out to Ms. Capistrand. I put her email on there. She's also on our website, lcapistrand@nps.org, so we can start to organize that. And then at this point, I am going to turn it over. This is actually grade 8 assembly. So I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Kissel right now. And he is going to lead the meeting at this point. So Mr. Kissel, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Diorio. Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here. For those who don't know, my name's Tony Kissel. I'm the House 3 Adjustment Counselor. Mr. Diorio and I had met, I believe, last week or maybe even the week before that to kind of talk about how do we sell this incredible school that we have after NMS, the high school, Northbridge High School. So we started talking about, let's get in contact with some of the folks up at the high school to see what we could offer to really highlight all the great things that are happening at our high school. So we met with Mr. Tracy and Mr. McGrath and just started having a conversation about, what things are exciting that are happening. So we want to be able to let all of our students, our 8th grade students, know exactly what's going on. So on Friday, February 4th, the last block of the day, our 8th grade students will stick with their house cohorts and move into 3 presentation spaces. In talking with Mr. Tracy this week, we kind of formulated our 3 chunks, our 3 cohorts, and how they're going to look. It seems like the first one will be something along the lines of a question panel with high school students. So just if any of our current students in 8th grade have any questions that they want, they can directly ask someone who's going through it and experiencing it right now. There's a lot of value there. Next up will be getting, an idea about course offerings, things along those lines from the NHS high school, the NHS guidance department, and then having Mr. McGrath there to kind of talk about the athletics that are offered at the high school, the opportunities there. And lastly, the things that enrich our high school experience a lot of times are portions of the arts, the clubs, the teams. We have a really exciting career pathways program that's, constantly evolving and getting better and better each year. So these are incredible things that unfortunately sometimes some of our 8th grade students have no idea is going on. So we really wanted to highlight that this year. That's a big focus for us. So our students and parents will get more information specifically about what that entails. But for the most part, it's going to be at school during that last block. We have transition periods and 3 areas to kind of allow for social distancing. It's looking like the media center, the auditorium, and potentially the gymnasium or the CAF. We're still working on that one. So going to be a really great time. I'm looking forward to seeing, excitement about, what, next year's transition brings. So with that said, I'm going to turn the floor over to the assistant principal at Northbridge High School, Mr. Eric Tracy.
Thank you, Anthony, and thank you, John, for having me here tonight. Just give me a second to see if I get this presented here. All right, so like Mr. Kissel said, my name is Eric Tracy. I'm the assistant principal here at the high school. I also have Mr. McGrath, our athletic director, here. I'll do a couple of slides just on the academics. And I see it's not working, of course, as I want it to.
If you hit the tab button or the arrow, does it go to the next one?
Well, that's how we'll do it then. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. So we'll talk about some academics, a couple of categories there. Our athletics, Mr. McGrath will cover, and then I'll go over the extracurriculars. In no way can I do the school justice in one presentation. We'll be presenting a couple of times. Also working with Mr. Diorio, I'll try to make myself present in some middle school events. That way, if parents want to talk to me specifically about something, I can either get questions from you and possibly get you some answers. And also insights on what the high school is doing. So if people can't be here tonight, hopefully they can meet me or some other high school staff in the near future at different events. I'll move on with the academics. First and foremost, this year was our first year of our freshman academy. And the academy was created by Superintendent Ms. Kinstry and Principal Mr. Bishop. Trying to make a smooth transition for 8th grade and all the way through 9th grade. Recent data across the United States show that 9th grade has been very tough for students and almost having a middle school hybrid team model of working together. And really, it's dedicated teachers and support staff that are assigned to the freshman academy. Students are in a centralized area for their lockers in most of their classes. So your students will be mostly in the same area except for maybe an elective class and lunch and or physical education classes. And then also with the freshman academy, we've put some thought into different activities we do and different field trips. So for example, the picture there is we had a freshman fall fest where we did team building activities. We had some games the last part of the day from lunch through the last part of the day. It was cold that day, so that's why they're all bundled up, but it was a great time and allowed us to get outdoors for most of it, so we weren't wearing masks in the building. Next week, they're going on to a field trip, another team building activity in Boston. So we're designing things specifically for the freshman academy, for all the students of the freshman academy. And everyone will be a part of that. That is coming in for the class of 2026. Our career pathways. So we've been working on this for the past couple of years. Ms. Palmerhouse really started it and got it going. How long ago, Ms. Palmerhouse?
Probably 7 years now.
7 years. And so we've worked with the state recently and very closely to update some of the materials and things that we're doing. But students can choose a pathway after 9th grade to decide courses that they might want to do that are specific to a career or college pathway that they want to do. And the pathways are listed there that we're currently offering. Amongst that, by their senior year, if they choose to be in a pathway, they will be either given an internship or a capstone project to kind of culminate all the things that they've done in the years leading up to it. I saw someone's hand was raised. I'm not sure who that was. Is that? If you have a question, I guess you can ask it. No?
I think it was
All
good.
right. So those are our career pathways. The next thing we have specific for freshmen to get involved with in their freshman year is our Nichols Honors Academy. And this is a collaboration between Nichols College and NHS in which students can be a part of the Nichols Nichols College and earn some credits in college. They can go to sporting events for free, go to cultural events, go to their library. They'll leave multiple times. Usually on our half days, they go to the campus and they do some leadership seminars. So students that are looking to apply for that, that'll be sometime in the spring. We'll get those applications out to students. But another way for students who want to become leaders, who want to start taking more rigorous courses starting their freshman year, students have signed up for that. We usually have about 20 students, 15 to 20 students in Nichols Honors Academy every year. AP courses. So the high school, while most freshman students won't take AP courses as they go through their years here, AP courses are more rigorous. You earn college credits if you receive a passing score on the AP test at the end of the year. For all of our students, these classes will happen most likely in your junior year, but it's the importance of freshman and sophomore year to have these. And not every school has this many course offerings for AP. So you can see the list of AP courses there. And Spanish has an asterisk because Mr. Diorio worked with us this year to offer Spanish 1. We'll be able to have AP Spanish by the time the class of 2026 rolls through the high school into their senior year. We'll be able to offer that, which we were not able to offer the past couple of years. The picture in that one is from one of our events that we have, our junior medalists. Usually our junior medalists come from high rigorous classes such as AP courses, and they win different medals for science awards to book awards. It's one of the prestigious events that we have before they get into their senior year. So that's just a picture of last year's junior medalist winners. And I'll turn it over to Mr. McGrath right now for athletics.
All righty. Thank you, Ms. Tracy. For those who don't know, my name is Chris McGrath. I am the athletic director here at Northridge Public Schools. This is my first year here. It's been a great start so far. Our teams are doing well, and I think our kids are really engaged in the community and within sports, which is really important right now. So when Mr. Diorio asked me to come on and present a little bit about sports, I gladly accepted and really kind of just want to get some more information out there to parents about what we have here at NHS. Really, athletics are a big focus for our students. About 40% of our students play sports at Northbridge. And the nice part is that it actually provides, a good sense of normalcy for our kids during this time. It allows our kids to go have fun, compete, and really just be kids, because that's, they're in that stage where they, need to be kids, and the nice part about Northbridge specifically is that the sports teams have a great supporting cast from our community, our students. It's a great atmosphere to be around in terms of high school sports, and it's one of the best in Central Mass, I would believe, because our support throughout the fall and the winter so far has been outstanding. At Northbridge, we actually have 22 varsity programs with the fall, with boys and girls soccer, football, field hockey, cross country, cheerleading, and golf. And now the winter, we have boys and girls basketball, ice hockey, swimming, which we co-op with Grafton, alpine skiing, which we co-op with Nipmuc for that. We have indoor track, wrestling, and cheerleading as well. And then in the spring, we have both boys and girls across. We co-op with boys at Nipmuc and our girls across teams here at Northbridge. We have baseball, softball, outdoor track, and boys and girls tennis. For those that don't know, we compete in the Southern Worcester County League. That is one of the better leagues in Central Mass. That's Northbridge, Uxbridge, Grafton, Millbury, Auburn, Tantascwa, Southbridge, Quabog, David Prouty, Oxford, Leicester, and Bartlett. So it's one of the better leagues here in Central Mass. And I think a good way that Northbridge stands out within Central Massachusetts is the facilities that it has. Everyone's familiar with LaSalle Field. We have one of the only turf fields in the area. If you've ever been to a game there, whether it be the day or the night, it provides a great atmosphere for our kids, because if you've ever driven past the field at night, we usually try to stack as many games on there as possible, because the kids absolutely love playing on it, whether it be for practice or games or whatnot. It really is a great place to be, and it really makes our teams stand out. We have a ton of schools around us that always ask to rent it out. And luckily for our kids, they have that ability to go play on that field whenever they really want. And that's awesome. We also play at the Memorial Field House in the wintertime. We're also one of the only schools in the area with an indoor track. The Dual Valley Conference will often rent out our track, but it allows our teams to really spread out a little bit more. It almost feels like a college feel just because it's so big. It gives our team so much spacing. They can do whatever they want. And if you've ever been to a game or an event there, whether it be track a few years ago or basketball nowadays, it really is cool. And that's probably a lack of a better term because it is really cool. The kids, they do awesome stuff in that gym. And it's just a great place to be in the wintertime. Mr. Tracy, could you go to the next slide real quick? Thank you. And with athletics, we do have unified sports at Northbridge. That is an awesome time for an incoming freshman to get involved with sports in Northbridge. They don't have to play a sport, but they can get involved with the community, with the kids at the school. And a lot of kids grow as role models and as leaders within unified sports. We have unified basketball, which Mr. Tracy's a coach, a unified track. It's really just a good opportunity for our kids to sort of get to know Northbridge a little bit more, get involved in whatever they want to be involved in. And we also have esports as well. And for people that don't know, esports are competitions in video games throughout the state where each school kind of competes against other schools for a state championship. And our team actually won the state championship for esport. I think it was Super Smash Bros. This fall. So you can see them right there in the right hand picture right there, the Super Smith brothers. They did an awesome job. They won the state championship. And if your student is interested in computer engineering or computer video game design, or just are really good at video games and they want to get involved in some capacity within NHS, esports are a great avenue. And I know our team is coming to speak, but they're looking to expand the games that they play and really get a team atmosphere in there to actually kind of get this up and running for the future. And Mr. Tracy, could you go to the next slide? Oh, I think you went
I
back.
don't know. I'm going backwards. Let me try this again.
Okay. We already talked about Swickle. It's one of the better conferences in Central Mass. If you can go to the next one.
That's all I had for athletics slides there, Mr. McGrath. But
all right. Then I will.
you could you could even just talk about the fan club and what the fans are like, especially the student body section. That we have a pretty strong
absolutely
group there.
So unfortunately, there's only immediate family at home and away events right now. But next week we are hoping to let everyone back in. And as you can see in that picture right there, our kids absolutely love coming to our events, and they really keep an up tempo within the gym or the field. The kids thrive off each other, whether they're playing or in the stands. And they really are one of the best fan sections within Central Mass. Because if you ever go to another school, I don't think we're as rowdy as Northbridge is, and it's awesome because it's never bad. It's always more supportive of our student athletes, and you really see that within Northbridge is the kids really root for each other, and that's exactly what you want to see as an athletic director and as a program. And then I know you didn't have that much more for the slides, but I did want to mention that the quickest way that information can be got and I guess more so alerted for families is through Twitter. I'm pretty active on Twitter through Northbridge Athletics. The username is NB Rams Athletics on Twitter. You'll get score updates, changes to schedules, alerts, whether it be, hey, everyone needs to bring in their jersey, that sort of thing. But that's the quickest way information is passed for athletics. If anyone wants to look at schedules for next spring, almost all the schedules are up right now through Arbiter Live. Arbiter Live, that's ARBITERLIVE.com. And then you just have to search in Northbridge, and then it'll pop up Northbridge High School. And this is where I think it gets a little confusing for some people, but all of the schedules on there are high school and middle school. So if you go to Northbridge High School in Arbiter Live, you can click into a middle school schedule, and it will be updated for all the middle school sports and all the high school sports. Lastly, the athletic website, nps.org. I think a lot of people have some trouble finding this. If you just go to nps.org and then on the left-hand side of the home screen, there's an athletics tab. And then you click on that, a lot of information is relayed via that website, whether it be Family ID, the registration process for it, how to go and actually register your child. We use the same registration process at the high school that we do at the middle school. So it's pretty similar for a lot of families. Spring sports registration, that's going to open up, I believe, the second week of February, and I've set a date for it. So it should be February 9th. They think that's either a Monday or a Wednesday, but that will be tweeted out, emailed out, pretty much blasted in any way we can. And then really the best way to contact me is either by email or phone. And I have two different emails that I use. One of them being nbathletics@nps.org, and the other being cmcgrath, that's cmcgrath@nps.org. And then my athletic office number is 508-234-6221, extension 1504. If I don't get back to you within an hour or two, I'm probably still trying to figure it out, so don't worry. I do try to get back to everyone in a timely manner.
Mr. McGrath, when you get a chance, can you type into the messages, because someone's looking for that website for the Arbiter Live?
Sure.
Yeah, but thank you. And again, all that information can be found on the website. We'll update our slides in the future to have all those links on there so people can see them easier. But thank you, Mr. McGrath. I only have 2 more slides to show about the high school for tonight. This first one is just some of the extracurricular activities. I can't even list all the electives that we have in there, but you can just look at some of the things we do. Here at this high school, you're going to get band and you're going to get chorus. That's not offered at every high school in the Commonwealth. Not to mention, if you've been to games, you've seen our marching band. Our band director, Mr. Wheelsma, has gone to the elementary school, and I believe he's come to the middle school area, Mr. Diori, right? He's trying to recruit more people for the band and for marching band. They also have jazz band. We have Enharmonics, which is our a cappella group. But these are just some of the things that we do at the high school that kids enjoy. I mean, all the way over to the right, you see that international tours. We group with EF tours in non-COVID years, and students go to Spain. They'll go to Barcelona. They're going to. We are planning right now to go to Greece. As of right now, that is still go in April. So students get to go abroad and check it out with a group of students here from the school. We have multiple dances. We have the homecoming prep rally. Many of you have been to homecoming day for games, I'm sure. But just like there's a junior honor society, we do have the high school honor society. We have an art honor society. So we have a lot of things for the students to do and participate in. Some of the electives, we have engineering courses where there's 3D printers. We have one of our teachers in our programming has a programming class, and he has drones. We're going to have the drones out in the gymnasium in a couple of weeks. I saw them live flying through a couple of things today. Luckily, I didn't get my head chopped off. But there's a lot of good things that we have going on here. And when students participate in some of those extracurriculars, it makes it even better an experience for them. Like Mr. Stein was saying, just about any students that might be willing to get into lifting and that in the gym over there. We're trying to offer as many things as we can. We have a great staff that is willing to do almost anything. We can start clubs and try them out and see if there's enough interest, which we've done a couple of times. I really can't highlight all the things I'd like to tonight. But I will leave everyone off with this, that as of right now, it's January 20th, and we already have this little wall just outside of our guidance office. Talk about academic rigor and going to college besides career. We already have 60 colleges or universities who have accepted our students, and it's only January 20th. So I can't mention every single name there. Not only college, university, I should say, we also have one student that's already committed to the Navy. So colleges, universities, students are leaving here, going right to a career or right into the military. So great things are happening here already. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me, etracy@nps.org, or you can reach out to anyone in the middle school and they can forward you my name. but we will be around in the next couple of weeks at different events. I'm looking to get a couple of middle school basketball games, so I'll set up a booth and talk to people there. But I appreciate you having me tonight, Mr. Diorio and Mr. Kissel. And we have those events coming up on the 4th, and anything else that's coming up, I'm sure Mr. Diorio will put in his newsletters and things of that nature.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Tracy. That was wonderful. Yeah, we were excited to have the high school with us tonight because I really don't think that many of our families know about all the great stuff going on at the high school. So, and honestly, I didn't know how many great things were going on until I came here and talked to Mr. Tracy. So thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Any questions, reach out to any of us. Thanks to the high school. Thank you, Mr. Kissel. Of course, the fabulous admin team, Mr. Stein, Ms. Palmerhouse, and we will see you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, Mr. Diorio.
Good night.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Night.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.